It's another meeting of the Saturday Afternoon Movie Club. I'm Geoff, the guy who talks first. We got the usuals here. What's up, Randy?
Howdy.
And Bjorn, how are you?
Howdy.
All right. Doing it.
All right.
Start off doing impressions. We right, we just wrapped up Nick Cage month, and we're in July. We're doing movies that star TV stars. That's this whole month's theme. So this week's episode is a movie called Dead Bang. Came out in 1989. Stars Don Johnson. Always the TV star Don Johnson. Mega TV star in 89. This might be his first. This is a very early Don Johnson movie. It might be his first movie. His first shot at movie stardom. The Miami Vice schedule made him turn down. He turned down The Untouchables and Die Hard.
Oh, shit.
And Miami Vice was dope, but I do feel like every time I watch a movie that Don Johnson's in, I feel like we kind of got ripped off on the movie star Don Johnson.
Yeah.
Because he's for sure a movie star. Like, he can't carry. Like, he carries this movie like a movie star. There's not a moment where it feels like a TV guy's.
Dude, we could have had Don Johnson and we got fucking Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
That sucks. Bruce Willis has had some bangers, but god damn. Can you imagine Don Johnson and fucking Die Hard and Pulp Fiction?
I mean,
Those movies are immediately better.
maybe. I mean, Don Johnson's great in Django
Yeah.
and introducing Don Johnson. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind having Bruce Willis instead. There's probably, if I can't remember the name, but there's definitely, just watching this movie, I was thinking, Don Johnson could have been Magnum P.I., but Tom Selleck couldn't have been Miami Vice. That's the thing. Tom Selleck has a wider, Don Johnson has a more he can do. Also, he's not 6'5". For some reason, the 6'5" part makes Tom Selleck a harder sell on everything. But, Don Johnson is really good. And this movie is really good. Surprisingly good.
Does that mean we're going to do a rewatch of that Tom Selleck movie we watched?
What, Runaway?
Yeah.
You want to rewatch Runaway?
I don't
no,
want
we
to,
have way
but
more
it
Tom
fits.
Selleck movies to do.
Okay.
We're not doing it this month. We have our 5 for this month. It's funny you brought up Bruce Willis because it'll come up this month too.
Okay.
Because he's in the all-time TV star movie. And Striking Distance. It's that one, right? That movie stars 2 former TV stars and 6 future TV stars.
Okay.
It's pretty wild. But we're talking Dead Bang. Before we get into Dead Bang, have you seen anything since the last time we talked?
Yes, but you go first.
I watched that's this movie, the Until Dawn.
Oh, based on the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it?
It's not a documentary about soap.
It's not.
I thought it was great.
Okay.
I love a movie. I love a Groundhog's Day style movie.
Oh, is that what it is?
It is.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like the Tom Cruise one, where they just keep
the
redoing
die?
the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
So everyone dies so many times.
Okay.
And in very interesting, fun ways. Lots of jump scares. I was so glad I had my sound bar set up because it helped the experience.
Yeah.
And it also really put a perspective because I watched this one next and I turned the sound bar off. I was like, this is dumb. The explosions are loud and the gunshots and nothing else. There's no other reason you'd want a sound bar. The sound experience on Dead Bang was pretty terrible. But yeah, Until Dawn is great. Just a fun teen slasher.
I'll
They
check that
die
out.
over and over and over.
All right. I like those, Palm Springs. I like Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Those repeating.
Yeah,
Groundhog
where
Day
it's just
movies,
they
yeah.
keep, but slightly different each time. It's not they even mention, I think they mentioned Groundhog Day and they're like, it's not like Groundhog Day because it's different. It's very meta in that way. But yeah, I was surprised at how good it was.
I'll check that out.
What about you?
This one's not for you, so earmuffs. I watched Bring Her Back. Did I mention that on the last one?
No.
No. So it's the same people who did Talk to Me,
Okay.
the horror movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with a hand. It is about this pair of foster kids who goes to live with a new mom, and they notice that the mom is paying a lot of special care and attention to the girl and is very much like leaving the boy out and behind. And then you find out like a quarter to halfway through the movie that this lady had a daughter that drowned, so she's fostering kids to kind of
What's it called again?
bring her back. It came out like
Talk to Me.
3-4 weeks ago. No, Talk to Me is the first movie.
Talk
these
to Me
people
is the
did.
first movie. This movie is called
Bring Her Back.
Bring Her Back.
And
A24. Okay.
yeah, it's an A24 movie, so it's heady.
It's heady, and you have to watch a video of it explained on YouTube afterwards.
You definitely don't have to do that with this one, but I know what you're talking about.
I did that with The Surfer, and they just re-explained the plot. I was like, fuck you guys. This is dumb. I want to know, does it mean anything? And it
Right.
didn't. And they were just like...
This is a movie where it explores a lot of like familial trauma, much like Hereditary does. With the two things I liked about it the most are that there is a supernatural element, but that's not the movie. It's just it's a big part of the movie, but not in a way where it's like super duper relevant to the plot. So that was a really cool focus. And then the story itself, when you strip away the horror and how graphic it is, it's just a very, very fucking sad story that's told through the lens of horror and supernatural. But it's, goddamn, it was so good. I can't recommend it enough if you're a horror fan.
I didn't watch anything.
Just this one. Well, I wanted to mention in Until Dawn, there's Peter Stormare.
Oh, I love Peter Stormare.
And he's in his creepy goodness.
Hell yeah.
Just
like Satan in Constantine?
He plays a creepy gas station attendant, and then he's a doctor. He's a creepy psychologist doctor.
There is never a moment where he's on screen that I don't fucking love.
Yeah,
I love that dude.
I was surprised to see him in it. And
Yeah, he's great. He's a real levels up.
Yeah.
What's a modifier? He's a movie modifier.
Yeah. Him and fucking, oh, god damn it, Walton Goggins.
Walt Goggins
Are both.
Shea Wiggum.
just choose
Amy
on
Ryan
roles.
was until she became more of a star.
Huh. I guess Walton Goggins is much more of a star than he was, so.
Michael Pena.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Michael Pena for sure. Michael Bean.
Michael Bean. Right, there's a lot.
There's a lot of them.
But your guys won. Stormare.
Stormare's, yeah, he's top.
Right, I watched a bunch of Magnums, I guess. I saw that band Block Party last night. I don't want to. We'll drop it in right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so should we talk about Dead Bang?
Yeah, let's talk about Dead
Let's
Bang.
talk about Dead Bang. So before we do, this is the intro to the recap. I'm just gonna do the stuff from the first act that doesn't matter.
Do you want to put it more into context?
Oh
or
yeah,
is
let's
that
put it
right?
in context. All right, this movie came out in '89, directed by John Frankenheimer.
What
Right, I
else
said
has
that
he
right.
done?
He did some action stuff.
Okay.
I could look it up, but
No, it's fine.
my phone fell in my pocket. I don't know where it is. Roger Ebert did not review it. The IMDb has a 6.1 rating,
Yeah.
and Rotten Tomatoes, critics 33, audience 44. I think both of those are selling it short. This movie stars Don Johnson, Tim Reed, Tate Donovan, William Forsythe, Penelope Ann Miller, the lady from Kindergarten Cop. That's what she was. The other, her most famous role, I guess. Mickey Jones is in it. Mickey Jones was a drummer. I like to bring this up whenever Mickey Jones comes up. Mickey Jones is the big white supremacist dude that was kind of with the other guys.
Okay.
Had the beard, the scraggly beard. Mickey Jones was a drummer. And in 1966, when, right after Dylan went electric, and then he was touring, there's one of the bootleg series for the Dylan was a live show from England. where his first set would be acoustic and his second set would be electric, and the crowd turned on him. And going into the last song on the electric set, they start yelling at him, calling him Judas and whatever. And he does the I don't believe you, you're a liar. And then he turns from the mic, and you can hear him say off mic, he says, play fucking loud, and then the snare drum cracks and it goes into like a that's Mickey Jones. Like, he's playing drums because it was Dylan in the band, but Levon didn't want to go to England because of how much everybody hated them going electric, so he just didn't go, and Mickey stepped in and played the drums, and that's him. That's his cool thing. And then he went in to be in a ton of shit, Total Recall and Justified, but he's that guy.
There's a guy in here too, Michael Jeter.
Oh yeah, Michael Jeter.
And I was like, where do I recognize him from? Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, John mentioned him.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who he was in Jurassic Park 3. I've only seen the movie like 3 times.
What Jurassic Park are we on if they were still numbering them?
There's one
we are
coming out,
going
it'll be
on
7.
to 7.
7?
Yeah.
Huge missed opportunity. They should have had Jurassic 5 do the rap group do at least a song on the 5th one. Tuna fish on there.
Yeah, come on.
Like, have a little nod to it. Come on. You guys are like, shut up, Bjorn.
Right, so this is a cop movie. He's a L.A. sheriff's homicide. So he's not LAPD.
Yeah.
It's a very somehow different thing. He lives in the valley because he lives like by the Burbank airport.
Like next to it.
Yeah, right next to the Burbank
Under it.
airport. But that's not like, I don't know what this. I didn't know they had homicide detectives. I know that like West Hollywood is not covered by LAPD. It's covered by the sheriffs.
I didn't know that sheriffs had like a detective force.
Yeah, I didn't either. I don't know how specifically like departmental accurate this movie is, because he also does a lot of stuff that a cop wouldn't do.
Right.
Like leave the state.
Yeah.
Bunch.
But like the way they set up his character, they really put the squeeze on this guy before we even get into any of the movie. Like the first act so he lives in a hotel, he's going through a divorce. It's kind of messy. He's got a restraining order, so he can't see his kids. Overdue bill notices everywhere. Kitchen's all piled up. He's drinking beer at breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Just hitting all the troubled cop boxes, checking them all off.
Not just drinking beer. He's chugging a beer first thing.
Yeah.
Pre-coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be
Just a
fair,
whole
that's how Mel Gibson does it in the first Lethal Weapon. Like whenever they show that character, that guy chugs a beer. Like you're not sipping it. He's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
And they set all of that up, and then that's it.
That's it. Yeah. Once the conversation about him not being able to see his kids for Christmas happens, that plot.
Oh yeah,
that
and it's
plot
Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's Christmas.
It opens
Which puts
on
the
Christmas.
squeeze on the early stuff, but has nothing to do with the show. With
Right.
what happens, other than to let you know it might be cold somewhere.
Yeah.
But we don't need that at all. Like, just be cold.
Yeah.
I've seen people in movies like I watched Empire Strikes Back and never once was like, is it Christmas time? What's with all this snow? Oh, it's just cold. I understand cold. I get it. So it has all these elements that they add in the first act that just never come up, never resolved, unnecessary entirely. Like the movie has its own plot.
If he was just an alcoholic and made a couple comments about his wife leaving him, that would have served the exact same purpose.
Yeah.
As all of that exposition.
All of it.
It's the 3 other cheeses in the 4 cheese.
Yeah.
Do you notice it?
Right. There's always a
Mozzarella's
Parmesan or
doing
something that doesn't.
heavy lifting.
Mozzarella's doing most of the heavy lifting in this.
in this 4 cheese.
Yeah. So let's get to the mozzarella.
Yeah.
All right. You want to do the first
Yeah, so movie opens up on that basically, and then we cut to faceless man in jeans and a white shirt with an SS tattoo, the Hitler Secret Police, and he goes into a liquor store called Mary's Liquor, and there is an older black gentleman running it, and he opens up the door and says, "Sorry, we don't serve Slurpees after 10." I'm like, "Well, you're also not 7-Eleven, so you wouldn't serve him anyway." Anyway, he robs the guy, shoots him in the head, and then bails. And on his way out, a cop gets word that this store has been robbed somehow, because there's no one else in the store. So him getting any kind of physical description doesn't really make much sense now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, gets a physical description, stops the guy. The guy shoots and kills the cop and flees. Then we pick up with Don Johnson going to the crime scene. He takes it very personally. I mean, they almost established that he knows, like, he's friends with this cop.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was like a sheriff, I guess.
Yeah. There's no previous like shots with these two together, but he seems very disturbed and upset when he realizes that this specific cop is dead. Anyway, starts investigating a bit more and finds out that a guy with criminal history somewhat matching this physical description is likely staying in what looks like a flop house
With Ron Jeremy.
And he strong arms a parole officer into coming with him so that if he sees him there, the parole officer can immediately be like, "You are violating your parole," giving them
Well, right. Before we move on from this, let's talk about the parole officer a little bit. This guy is a dick. Like, this is his job, and he's running a whole lot of, "I'm out the door. It's Christmas Eve." Like, a cop got killed. Why? Like, there's no way that a person like that would react like that. Like, a person with that job, it's all hands on deck when a cop gets killed.
Sure.
There's no going home. I work till 5. A cop got killed. We all work all night. Like, nobody in that department would go home that night. The fact that Don Johnson is the only one investigating the case is nuts. But the fact that he has to strong arm him into doing the thing when that guy should be begging for, like, why were they not in a rush? He should have been like, "Let's go now." Like, that part didn't make sense at all to just make that character kind of an obstacle.
I think it was because Don Johnson's character was going off of information that wasn't very solid. Like, he was going off of kind of a hunch and then forcing this dude to either not shop for his kids or leave on, like, not be with his kids on Christmas morning.
Right. So the guy decided to, like, what he was actually asking him for, the first ask was just the file.
Right.
And that guy was like, "No, I'm out the door." Like, that's the part that
that is irritating.
Like, because you're right, it was a hunch, but how you follow a hunch is you get the file. Like, that's the next step.
Right.
And then that's when you start to figure out if you're on the right track or not.
Right.
And this guy being like, "Come on, man, it's 10 to 5. I told my wife I'd be home." It's like, I understand that, but a cop got killed and you might know the guy.
Which, by the way, if we can back up for just a sec, this might be the only movie I have ever seen that was made in this time period and is about this time period where the computer software looks real.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a hodgepodge of DOS.
Yeah. The green, the flashing.
It's flashing green. It's just fucking data on a screen. There's no pictures. There's no enhancing images. It is just text with info.
And Don's just hunting and pecking, dude. Just 2 fingers.
2 fingers, pecking away on the keyboard. I'm like, this actually feels real. I kind of like this.
Yeah.
But anyway, gets the file, goes to this flop house to find the guy. This is where we meet, what's the dude's name? The actor's name?
Tate Donovan.
Tate Donovan. They find him. He's like, "Oh, yeah, he's like, we're looking for your brother." He goes, "Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to give him up. He's my brother." And they're like, "Well, you should." And he's like, "I don't really want to. It's my brother." And then they hear some dude escaping out the back window, and they're like, "That's our guy." And they pursue him on foot, tackle him down. He gets puked on, and they realize this is the wrong guy, so they let him go.
Don Johnson pukes.
Because
he drank beer in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he chases him down on foot and pukes all over his chest, which was really funny.
And there was the whole conversation before about Bob Balaban being a jogger. He's like, you should be, it's good for your cardiovascular. But he's he can't keep up with this foot chase.
Yeah.
And a half drunk Don Johnson chases him down, tackles him, and then barfs on him.
Yeah.
A bunch.
Yeah.
Like I saw the first one coming and looked away in time, and the second one caught me off guard. I don't like to watch it.
I think he was actually puking.
Awesome.
Because the second time he does it, he lets a little out and then breathes and then really pukes. And I'm like, that's not something you can just do with cream of mushroom in your mouth.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I think that was
then later they
that was too descriptive.
A little later he's like I still gotta, I don't know, interrogate him, and he's threatens to puke on him again, and the guy immediately gives up everything. This is the most effective interrogation technique I've ever seen.
Turns out
I will puke on you again.
Again.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You do it the first time to establish.
17 hours in an interrogation room, not necessary. Just a little beer and a foot chase.
Right? You don't need a
Gets you all
good
you
cop,
want.
bad cop. You just need a drunk cop.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson's so mad that the Riggs guy never got a barf on anybody.
Pops his shoulder out, throws up on him. I'd talk.
This is where my memory of the movie gets a little hazy with how we get from he gives information as to his next lead, and then he gets there, because I think the lead he gives him is in Arizona.
Right, and then he finds out about the Arizona place, goes there, and that's where he gets the phone book. And he gets the address and phone number of the place in Oklahoma.
Okay.
The maps.
Right, so then and the maps.
Conveniently, they drew their track like a Google Maps directions. I guess you could do that. You just in the atlas. I never did that. I just looked at
MapQuest
it.
did that for you.
Just take a Sharpie and just here's where we're gonna go, guys. Do not deviate. We got this. It's just main roads. What are we doing?
Just came out when you did that.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you guys are young enough to just mock the idea of using a map.
No.
Of course that's how it was. Every single time
it's
that's
not
how we
using
did it.
a map. It's drawing on the map.
Drawing the route. Where when my mom used to use Thomas guides, she would write right turn on Maple. She would just write out the directions, not have a map with a line drawn on it.
Yeah, but I don't know that your mom is in the
No, she's not the example for everybody who did it. It was just funny to see.
It was I know, I understand, but that is how it was done. I had so many maps like that.
You drew on them,
or they would be, or somebody would, because it's not
like a highlighter.
The guy that did it wasn't doing it for himself. This was for the group.
Right. Yeah.
And so there'd be times you would get you'd go somewhere and somebody would do that to a map and be like, here, just do this. And then you sort it out however you like.
The hack
having the line on it makes it easier to to write down the things you have to know.
I did a lot of traveling pre-GPS, and the hack that I found is you go, those things with in truck stops, they have the activities you can do.
Yeah.
You find a historical map of the state you're in, it has all the roads on it. Free map.
Oh.
You don't have to go in there and pay for the map. No, free map. Just get the historical sites. It has all the roads on it.
Yeah.
It was free. That was just a hack that I found when I was going to restaurant, or I'd go to hotels and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the morning.
Sure. Yeah.
You just walk in like you own the place.
Oh, dude, you can get
make your lunch.
You get free continental breakfast at any hotel you want.
Anyway.
Yeah. They don't ever check.
No.
Right. So then there's some bouncing around between
states.
LA. Then he goes to Oklahoma, finds a church, a white supremacist church. They're assholes. The people aren't there, but they find some more information there that leads them to Boulder.
Yes.
So it really is just this and then this and then this and then this thing leads to this thing leads to this thing.
It's kind of it's almost the epitome of what you don't want to do in a script, which is this happens and then this happens and then this happens, because it's just a never-ending string of shit that doesn't really do much for your story.
Yeah.
Like,
But this one
like
pulls it
some
off nicely.
backstory on a child
Right.
custody thing,
Exactly.
or a relationship that we just glossed over.
Yeah.
Weird sex scene.
It also is
Very weird sex scene.
like yeah, he fucks. That's
Also,
really
that
all it
and
is.
that whole
It's like he's
to put it in
straight.
context. Don Johnson's character goes to some. I think it's a memorial service for the fallen cop.
No, it's just a
Or
Christmas
it's just
party.
it's a Christmas party. Meets this lady. They fuck. Very little flirting needed to make that happen. It just cuts to it. And then we find out that she was with the cop that got killed and didn't want to tell him for reasons.
Previously, like they weren't together at that moment,
Right.
but they had been before.
They had been. And she didn't want to tell him because she didn't know how he would react. Which, by the way, that interaction has one of the best lines in the movie where she says, "Who are you to judge me?" And his response is, "Who do I have to be?" Like, that's that's a great line.
Yeah, that's a good line.
But that plot also goes fucking nowhere after she's off screen.
Yeah, it's over.
There. It's just
it never
over.
comes up.
And also her being with that cop doesn't mean anything. It doesn't get him any evidence.
No, nothing comes from it.
Yeah.
Most cop movies are like that though. Like they don't have most cop movies are this then this, like because you're just following.
You're just
clues.
following. Yeah.
They just leave out. This is what took me so long, like several rewatches to really get into Inherent Vice. Is it's one of the few cop movies where some leads don't pan out.
Mm-hmm.
Every cop
Yeah.
movie, you just skip the leads that don't pan out. They
Yeah.
only show. So this one is just the ones that do. It's just the leads that pan out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it does have a very this then this then this.
Yeah.
But that's just general
So-
cop stuff.
So along the way,
Before we leave Oklahoma, the cops in Oklahoma are also just white supremacists.
yeah, they have
A
a
very
big carved
upsetting
wooden sign. It basically is an extremely direct racist way to say we are a sundown town.
Yeah, it's a sundown town. I mean, the word sundown is on
it, yeah.
sign.
On the side.
So is the N-word.
Right. So those are bad. We don't want to. He knows he's not going to get too much help from these cops, but fortunately, he doesn't need these cops because they end up in Boulder.
Right.
And then that's where. But between Oklahoma and Boulder, he has to meet with Michael Jeter,
Mhm.
the psychiatrist guy, to whether or not he's allowed to stay on the case. Apparently, he's
He's at risk of
crazy
losing
now?
it because that's one of the points I wanted to bring up. Don Johnson's character is so unbelievably fucking insufferable through this entire movie.
yeah.
Like, to the point where the character has little to no relatability. He's there's nothing about him that makes me want him to succeed other than the fact that he's trying to bring down Nazis. Like, there's
Right, he's the main character.
he's the main character.
He's got the main character glow,
But
we've been told to root for him because he's on the poster.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he's just a fucking miserable human being that nobody likes. And he physically threatens people. The FBI agent who gets paired up with him, played by William Forsythe, asks him at some point not to swear. And I think he says, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Well, he has the reaction he has there. I do like. I think Don Johnson's right in that where he's like,
I do too.
everything I said. That's all you locked in on was
100%.
my language.
Yeah.
Like he just told you about who murdered the cop and these terrible other cops and white supremacists or whatever. And the guy's just like, please watch your language. He's like, oh, then what the fuck, man?
Right.
Like, you're in the wrong job. Not
I
me.
agree with that too. I totally agree with that.
William Forsythe, before his man's face kicked in and he still had that like kind of fleshy baby face.
Yeah.
The early Forsythe had that. And it
Mhm.
wasn't until like mid 90s where he lost the softness of
Yeah.
it. So he still got soft face William Forsythe, FBI agent.
Soft face, gap tooth, William Forsythe.
But again, just one FBI agent. None of these guys have partners.
Right.
There's one FBI agent, one cop trying to solve this cop murder, going state to state, a thing that only the FBI guy could do.
Right.
The LA Sheriff's Department homicide detective can't even go to like
Orange County.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he can't even go to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different jurisdiction. He could cover West Hollywood and the outer.
Isn't Hollywood in LA County?
Yeah, it's in LA County, but they have their own, like, the murder happened in the sheriff department jurisdiction. So you can go around, but he still would have to tell LAPD. Like, if he was going to Hollywood, he has to tell them, I'm coming. Like, he has to, like, let them know.
Right.
He can't just go there.
Yeah.
But he's in Oklahoma and Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the psychiatrist, he strong arms him into getting his badge back or keeping it or whatever. Shouldn't.
He threatens to. He's having his case threatened by the
brass.
DA, I guess,
Or a captain.
captain.
Somebody that has the power to take him off it.
Yeah.
Someone who talked to him on some stairs.
Yes. And I actually did like that character because his arguments were valid, and especially the interaction. He lists off all the complaints against him, including kidnapping, which he is being accused of by the parole officer in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he goes, I didn't kidnap anybody. He goes, and what a rebuttal against all of the charges that I just levied against you.
Right.
And then he's strong.
It's very much a. Could you watch your language?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all the stuff I said, you have one.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not kidnapping.
You only give
okay, well,
one
what about
fuck.
the other 40 things?
It's like a joke.
But in the therapist's office, when he turns around and strong arms him into approving him, he drops a line where he says, I will fixate on you as the instrument of my destruction and make you uncomfortable to live your life forever. And it's like, that's hard as fuck. Hell yeah. And then later on when he says me and the he's talking to the FBI agent, he goes, me and that psychologist are thick as thieves, so I'm back. And he goes, yeah, what did you do, threaten his wife and kids? And then he walks away, and you see Don Johnson's face sink into itself. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Kind of.
Kinda.
It was directly applied.
Yeah.
One could see how it could be read that way. Technically, I didn't say anything about the wife and kids, but I can see how, there's a lot of space between the lines, and you could put that in there easily.
I will say, fuck that psychologist for seriously wanting to take him off the case for making fun of him for looking like Woody Allen.
Right? Your job is to listen. And him calling you Woody Allen is a clue into him or whatever. Like,
right.
You can't be, if you're taking your shit personally, you're bad at it.
Yeah.
So Don Johnson's not the best guy, but this parole officer sucks, and this psychologist also sucks.
Yeah.
Specifically at their job.
Yes. 100%.
They're definitely better people, but that's not what this is about.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not how you solve a case. These guys are bad at their jobs.
Yeah.
He did not kidnap that parole officer. He tricked him into doing his job.
Yeah, because the parole officer, when they got to that flop house, could have gotten out of the car and walked away.
Right. He also could have, he had the authority to get the guy, he's making, Don Johnson has to make all these extra moves because he won't do his minimum,
right.
The bare minimum.
Right.
A guy you're in charge of might have committed a murder and you're not hot to trot to find him.
Yeah.
And fix it, find out if it was him or wasn't. There should be nothing else he's thinking. He should have forgotten it was Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane that he's like, I gotta do some last minute. Who?
No.
So? A guy got murdered a couple hours ago. A cop and a clerk by a guy you're in charge of.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? So, and also he gave him the choice. Send me the packet or I'll be at your office at 8:30. And the guy took 8:30. Also, why did he go to the office? He met him at the office. He could have just not gone too. This guy was just not. Also, it's Bob Balaban, and kind of sucks he was only in it for 6 minutes.
I know. He was so good in it.
Same with Jeter. He just put him in for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tim Reed shows up so late in the movie, I forgot he was in it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw his name in the credits and was hyped, and then he's there just for the last act in Boulder.
And Boulder, and that's kind of where he goes on this whole chase to gather all this evidence. They go to Boulder to a big Nazi compound to find these people who killed this cop, or find the guy who killed the cop and his accomplices who fuck shit up later on. And they search the compound, come up with nothing, and then they find this like little ventilation chamber thing out in the middle of the compound, and then discover an underground little area where all the dudes are. There's a big shootout, and then we find out that the guy who killed the cop was actually the brother from the Flophouse.
Yeah, it was a big twist.
Big twist.
Right at the end. That you don't see coming simply because there's too many red herrings are thrown in there. Like, how far into this movie were you for sure William Forsythe wasn't a white supremacist?
Yeah. The whole time. Even the end. I was like, is there going to be a post-credit scene where he is?
It was in the tunnel when he shot the guy. That was the very first time I was like, oh, maybe he's not.
Well, the whole time...
He yells down and gives him away as they're trying to sneak in. They're halfway down the ladder, dude. Right, now they're vulnerable.
He's blowing it a lot.
And, like, on top of that, throughout this movie, one of the things that Don Johnson keeps saying is, like, this is a huge operation. They have funding. Where is this coming from? And, like, in my mind... I'm waiting for something like that to drop.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first movies to use white supremacy, like white supremacists as the villain. And also it was the first time in any like mainstream media thing where, cause you even see it in the movie, like there are some, law enforcement people who consider, like, they just think all of these are localized factions or whatever, and this movie is the first time showing them having any organization at all.
Yeah.
And then the end of the movie, the FBI is like, we're starting to think about, but it was still like a few years away in real life.
Yeah.
Before they finally realized that these might be connected.
Also, I love in Boulder when he goes to meet up with the local cops to figure
Tim
everything
Reed.
out.
This is when Tim Reed shows up.
There's a fun moment where he comes out to meet the sheriff, and the sheriff is black, and he's like, "Oh, I'm here to meet Sheriff so-and-so." He goes, "That's me." And he goes, "No shit."
No shit, right? And then the next part, when he's like, "We just need to make sure that there's no turncoats."
And then he says, I love his description. He goes, "Don't worry, there's no cluckers here."
No cluckers, right? And then he just has all the black guys in the force. It's like, yeah. Finally, thank God. Now I don't have to worry about, because he had to do the whole Oklahoma thing, knowing the cops backing him up are on their side, not his.
Yeah.
So that was
until they started shooting at them.
Right.
But then he gets to take down this thing. The preacher from Oklahoma's in Boulder now, so we're getting as the audience, we're getting the broader scope of it definitely is organized.
It's also a huge compound.
Yeah.
With like very, very armed people.
Right, and the only thing they got wrong is they went an hour north instead of an hour south.
Yep.
That shit should be in Colorado Springs, not Boulder.
Or Idaho.
Or Idaho. But Colorado Springs.
Idaho.
Colorado Springs makes more sense than Boulder.
Yeah.
The city of Boulder would have chased him out.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs would have been like, I know you're in charge of this, but how do you feel about being the mayor, too?
Boulder would have had him out. I didn't even know Boulder had a fucking airport.
Yeah, I didn't either. It might not. It might just have a building with a sign.
Yeah. Thought they were in Denver. My bad.
I mean, the airport said "Welcome to Boulder" because I had the same thought of why am I always flying to Denver
and then driving an hour. This is weird.
I mean, they probably do. It's
they probably have like a little municipal airport, but anyway,
you go to Denver first.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's the movie.
That's the movie.
Big shootout at the end. Computers in the tunnels.
Also, what a great shootout. That was a really, really good shootout.
Count them up, too. Most movies don't. I don't know. I can't follow along with machine guns, but the pistols, accurate.
Yeah.
It would count off the shots.
I like that.
They don't do that a lot in movies, especially back then.
Yeah.
Like, you have to think about it or care about it.
Also, dude, the flashlight in the mirror trick
that was great.
Was so fucking awesome.
Right. My favorite line in the movie was in that shootout. Like, at the end, basically the whole thing is over, and there's just a couple minutes left, and Forsythe. Somehow neither thing I thought, like his character from the moment he was introduced, that character is either secretly a bad guy or there to be killed. And somehow neither thing happened to Forsythe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Forsythe, when the shooter gets a drop on him and he gives up his gun, and Don Johnson's like, I just need to tell you, he's the one that killed your brother. And it just like confuses the guy just so they can get away and whatever. And then Forsythe is like, if it was up to you, I'd be dead right now. And then Don Johnson goes, it was up to me. And that's such a good, like, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's a moment where, like, I can't believe this guy's not a fucking movie star.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. You can see him saying everything. Because that's not a heavy sentence, but the way he does it, it was up to, you're like, fuck, it was up to him.
Yeah.
Who said the title line? I wrote it down, but
That
I
was the
can't
brother.
remember who. I had him dead bang.
That was the brother. That's when he's confessing the crime.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do people,
Oh.
is that like a term that people use?
May have been.
I don't know. I don't hang out with a lot of white supremacists, so it might be part of their vernacular.
This movie sounds like a horrible snuff film title.
It does. I will say, ugh. The press conference at the end, where they're talking about launching their task force, I was like, I know that it's common for them to kind of splay out the things that they recovered. I don't know if they needed to go as far as to put Nazi flags on all of the walls of this conference room.
Right.
It seems like a bit much.
They're just showing them off. It's it's like when they stack up all the drugs.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
Like, look at what we got.
that
Like,
makes
look what we
sense.
got.
But maybe don't put swastikas.
yeah, but if you stack up flags, it's not going to be that impressive. 10 flags stacked up is just like one flag. It's like a quilt.
It's a quilt.
You got to hang them up so you get the full scope. That's the recap. Let's talk about our favorite parts.
Honestly, the shootout,
The final?
the final shootout was so good. The chase was also really good.
Yeah.
That's a close second, but that shootout was really, really fucking good.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Cool location, underground tunnels.
Great line dropped at the end, the mirror trick, the whole thing, like, them counting the bullets.
Yeah, it was good.
Also, him reaching for his second clip and finding out he only has one left.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're making some fucking stakes here.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. What about you, Bjorn? What was your favorite part?
Earmuffs, Jeff. I like the throw up scene. throw up interrogation.
Oh,
I just thought that it was like, that would happen if I did that. If
Yeah,
I went
for
from if I was hungover and had to chase someone on foot, out of shape, I'm throwing up on them.
Yeah.
And they like the way it was shot too. I was like, oh man, I've had hangovers like that. And in LA when it's like just like hot, and it's gross and dry, and you're just like, you have a headache, and you're like, God, I gotta run.
Yeah.
Right? He's basically put the same clothes on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's even though he like clearly took a shower or whatever
Right.
before, but put on dirty clothes, that fucking jacket, the fact that he wore that same blazer a lot, that like light color blazer, and it just, what the fuck? You only have one jacket? Like,
Yeah.
I loved that. It
was realistic. It was
maybe
more
it's-
realistic than
Yeah.
something you'd usually see in a movie like this.
Yeah, usually they're like, they drink, but they're never hungover.
Uh-huh.
It's like that macho, like, yeah, that puts hair on your chest. I can drink and I'm fine the next day. And they drink like, they're drinking like Old Crow, and you're just like, Jesus, I'm hungover watching this right now. I already have a headache.
Yeah.
The amount of dead sprinting you're doing is making me want to throw up.
Yeah.
So it was, I guess, cathartic that someone did.
I want to know if it was in the script or not. Like
That he
you
throws
said,
up?
like maybe he just did. Like maybe, and they were like, all right, just act around this, dude. I don't know.
That'd be
That's
it. He'd be so he's the world's greatest improviser.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He can,
He worked
some
up a
people can
barf.
cry on command. Old Donnie J.
He's brilliant. Should have been a movie star.
Yeah.
Should have been in everything. I think I already said my favorite part was that "it was up to me" line.
Yeah.
But after that jacket he buys at the secondhand store, that long blue wool coat.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I want that.
$18.
I'm in on that.
Yeah.
That's a dope coat.
Yeah.
Also, the other time he was wearing the police jacket that he borrowed, and his blazer, like he still had his blazer on, and you could see it coming out. I was like, that looks stupid, but that is what like a real person would do, and not a movie person. There was a handful of things in there that felt more real than movies usually do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's the jacket and that cool line. I like this movie a lot.
I do too.
Right, so that's Dead Bang. We'll come right back. We'll do the questions right now. Does anybody have anything else you want to talk about the movie before the questions?
There was a couple of random things. Like I noticed there was a bowling ball and a flower pot in that flop house. I just thought that was a hilarious move for the set. It's like they're just like, I don't know, just throw stuff on, just put stuff. Or was it in the location already? I don't know.
I wrote 4 notes. The first one was basically during the opening credits, and it was just, am I actually watching Miami Vice? Because it felt like I was watching Miami Vice. The first N-word, 6 minutes and 40 seconds in.
Yeah.
Noted that down. And then immediately after the murder happens, I said, this Nazi with the yo-yo is so fun and fancy-free.
Oh, yeah, it was a yo-yo.
It was a yo-yo.
Just casually walking down the street with a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Right. And then after 4 or 5 scenes with Don Johnson, I just wrote, oh my God, someone kill this cop.
Yeah, he's terrible. I wrote down very excited shooter.
Yes.
When he's like shooting, he's like,
yeah.
like, are you shooting in a play right now? It's like,
I didn't write it down, but I wanted to note that when you see the bullet holes in the cop car, I'm like, that doesn't make sense how
all
those
over there.
Where they are, because the cop is like on the ground being shot repeatedly in the chest, but there's bullet holes all over. Anyway, dumb continuity thing I noted.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Yeah,
because if he shot the car a bunch too, so the cop got shot twice, and the other 8 bullets went into the doors. That's the only explanation, but it doesn't make sense because he got him down right away.
Why would you keep?
He just shot the car too because that's how mad he is.
Yeah,
he's just having fun. It's like never shot a gun before. There's a part where like he breaks his glasses.
Yeah,
and then it's like taped the rest of the time. They're readers, right?
Yeah,
you can get those anywhere. I know he said he's on a budget, but he could have picked up a new pair.
There was also a moment where someone calls him out on, is that tape on your glasses? And he goes, yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I've broken my glasses and taped them up. Why is this something you're calling attention to?
It never
it's just
really,
broken glasses.
Never really comes up. Have you ever broken your glasses in like a situation where you can't fix them very well, like on vacation or something?
I broke my glasses in London.
Really?
On the first day of a 3-week vacation.
What'd you do?
We went to a pharmacy and I got super glue and glued them back together and tried to wipe off some of the excess, and a little bit of the napkin I used like came off.
Oh no.
And then I just had napkin on my glasses for 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
I have this is a story about breaking your glasses, and it has to it makes sense. I was in Las Vegas. It's the only time I've ever taken Spirit Airlines. And the only reason I took it is because of the schedule. It was just a better in and out time. Otherwise, it wasn't like a financial decision.
Right,
it was just, I would get more time there if I took, and it's not worth it because I ended up having to spend an extra day. So there's really dry, I live here now, there's really dry air there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through security and I was wearing a very flowery shirt as I do. And, at the worst time, I got one of the worst bloody noses of my life, where there was just blood, and it was on my bright shirt, and it was just everywhere.
Oh no!
And then the guy, like, I was gonna go through the security thing and then clean it up, but it was just bleeding all. And the guy was like, he's like, "Hey, Miami Vice, go clean it up before you come through my line." And I was cleaning it up, and I broke my glasses in the bathroom. And I left that bathroom looking so gnarly because I was trying to clean up, and I sneezed at one point and just got
Shot
blood all over
on
the mirror. It was... there was, like the trash is just overflowing with the napkins of just blood. And I tried to clean up the thing, and I just smeared it and made it so much worse. It was super gnarly. My glasses are broken, and then my flight got we went to take off 3 times, and then they canceled it, and I ended up spending all this time in the airport, and then they got us a hotel, so I went there, and then it was nowhere near anything.
Yeah.
So I had to walk to a gas station, get some super glue, and glue my glasses back together. And I also had a piece of paper that was glued onto those glasses for a long time for the rest of that trip. But that's my broken glasses being called.
Was it like a Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah.
All right, so this is why I'm mad. That guy meant to say Magnum.
That's
That's not how they dress on Miami Vice.
It was blue and pink, faded with palm trees on it.
Yeah, it's Miami Vice. Or no, that's Magnum. That's
yeah.
not Miami Vice.
But
Miami Vice is blazers, t-shirts, pushed up sleeves.
he meant
Magnum
to say,
is Hawaiian shirts.
okay.
I'll tell that TSA agent.
Guy
next
biffed
time
it.
I go through.
Right, if you're gonna burn somebody, at least be accurate. What? Hey, Alf! You can't come through here like that.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, Alf.
Chip. I think it's Chip of Chippendales.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
See, that's
Chip.
more accurate. It's Chippendale. I didn't realize this because I saw it too young. Turns out it's just Magnum PI and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's Magnum PI. And we didn't realize it till Paul and I dressed up as it, and we were like, and I was like, oh, it's Magnum PI. And as I was collecting all of the things, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't know Magnum PI when I was 11 or whenever that cartoon came out.
I didn't get the reference either.
So that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Just Tom Selleck's big thing and his almost big thing. Just a real drag on Tom Selleck. Those Chippendale guys. I've never broken my glasses. So
Well, those are readers, so he doesn't really need them all the time, so I guess, but...
To
I
read
mean, it
those
just seemed busy.
important letters and and maps and shit.
Yeah, it's true.
I also never really got a clear, because they just bounced around from place to place, so I don't really know how long this movie takes.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be over the span of 4 days, or it could be a week.
Yeah.
Every city he could be in for a day, or the Oklahoma, it seemed like he was there a couple days.
Right.
No clear idea, because they also never, as much as they pointed out to us that it was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it was never New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
Right.
That never came up. So my assumption would be that it
Within
must
a
have
week.
wrapped up on the 30th
Yeah.
or whatever. But when was that press conference?
Right.
That's not on New Year's Day. Whatever. So maybe just a couple days. Who knows? Maybe just didn't have time to fix those glasses yet. It was just always running from one city to the next.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still, though, I remember when the guy called him out, I was just like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? How would you even notice? It was Scotch tape. I had to stare at it to see what he was talking about.
It also just didn't even need to be there.
No, this
what is
movie, it's like they were trying real hard to make they had to make it an hour 40
Yeah.
or something, and they made a dope ass hour and 28-minute movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, fuck. Gotta make this a little longer.
Fluff it up a little bit, boys.
Right, like when you have an assignment in school and they're like, it's a 1,000-word thing
Yeah.
on this and whatever, and you're
You
like,
get to 900.
right. So now I just gotta go in and take out all the contractions and
Yeah.
restate, make sentences
Things
have the front
longer.
and back half just be the same.
Yeah.
It had a little of that vibe, paid by the word vibe. But at least they didn't drag out the plot with it. They just added
No.
a bunch of shit,
Yeah.
and the story still goes the way it goes. But right, so they were just that was probably the last scene.
I was gonna.
We need 30 seconds.
Well, okay, so I didn't particularly like this movie. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna preface that. You guys were fans, not a fan. But something I thought that would have made this movie better, not a different ending, but maybe like a different beginning, is what I was thinking. I think you wrap up the relationship that he had with that lady, have her be the cop that gets killed.
Oh.
What
The lady that had the relationship with the cop that gets killed, just have her be the cop that gets killed. Have them have
like have that party be the day before?
Yes. And
That's a
then
solid idea.
she gets killed. So then now it's a revenge story, kind of like he has some stakes. Because like,
Right.
who's this other cop? Do we know? Like, why is he
why is he crossing state
why
lines?
is he crossing several state lines, going into caves, like going into harm's way several times for some guy? Does he know this guy? Maybe he went to his funeral, I guess.
Yeah, but like so does every cop in that department.
Yeah, it's like they're getting time and a half, for it, right?
Yeah. No, that's a great idea.
I was thinking, have that whole thing happen before and just have her be the cop. She could be a cop.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it would have fixed the story just a little bit for me. Like his motivations would have made more sense.
Yeah, then you lose the whole
other than just,
restraining order for no reason.
Yeah, you don't need it. That's what I thought. I think that would make the movie better.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not at all.
It would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I still, I like the movie. It doesn't. It might make it better. Trying to imagine if it would. I don't know. It definitely wouldn't make it worse.
Yeah.
So that's a positive. It could make it better. Might as well do it. Because it won't make it worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's I don't have anything like that.
And the twist, I didn't really care.
I didn't necessarily care that much, but I thought it was good to the point where it was a twist that I didn't see coming. It didn't add or subtract anything, but I appreciate that they played it that close to the chest for the duration of the movie.
Right. They also floated a couple others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep it from coming up. But we did get because the parole officer does explain the brother, and it's like he goes to college and he's a completely different guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't think about him at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not necessary.
In a current, entertainment state where those kinds of twists you can call from a fucking mile away. Like especially the one that comes to mind specifically is the first season of True Detective. I don't know if you've watched that, but
I have, but it's been a while and I don't remember the twist
when
exactly.
you find out who the killer is, you see him before, and he's like just weird and isolated enough.
Oh, the guy mowing the lawn or something.
This guy mowing the lawn.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're like, that's him.
Yeah,
that's him. Like, there's no way it's not him. He's in it for one scene and he's creepy, and you're telling me this is gonna go nowhere. That's him. And this movie doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Or this movie does it 4 times.
Or it does it 4 times.
Which is kind of the same as not doing it at all.
Yeah.
Because it's something like there was a point where there was like 3 or 4 different twists that I thought might happen. And then the one that did, I did not see that until right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because they kept floating other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, right?
Yeah.
Maybe too many, not enough, whatever. I liked it fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good movie.
It's a solid cop movie.
It's just, it's a solid cop movie. It's not it's not best picture or anything, but I liked it.
Yeah.
So we got two yays and 1 nay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's come back with the questions and then find out which one of us the Raz agrees with the most after the questions. But first, the questions.
Are we just gonna jump right into it?
We've only been recording for like 10 minutes.
All right.
So
might
as well.
All right. Do you guys have like an Oscar? Anyone getting an Oscar for this one?
I mean, as much as I hated his fucking character, don't Johnson fucking knocks it out of the park in this movie. He's so good.
Yeah, that's my choice. Like, just immediately. He should.
Yeah.
Of the people in this movie, he's doing
the most.
I like that. It's like, I give it to script supervisor.
All right.
Just the silliest one. All right. Favorite location? Do you guys have the
tunnels?
Was it the tunnels?
The tunnels, yeah.
I think
I'm a sucker for a good tunnel scene.
Yeah.
Good tunnel scene. How about, did you recast this at all?
No.
No recast
No.
for Dead Bang?
I'm losing my my touch with a good recast.
Well, we just don't have enough. There's just not enough movie stars. So
Yeah.
how many times could he be like, they can make it now with Gosling?
Yeah, Gosling,
Right.
Brad Pitt,
It's
Josh
always fucking
Clooney on
Right,
there.
it's just like the standard answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie would the remake of this with Clooney. I'd watch that.
You know who I
Like
would?
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now he's too old. He'd
He's
be
too
the
old.
fucking preacher.
Yeah. Seriously.
What were you gonna say?
I had a thought and then I thought about it more and I was like, nah, that's not a good
All right.
answer.
Do you have a double feature for Dead Bang?
I have two.
Ooh, okay.
You are not going to like these.
Okay. It's Always Sunny and
And the other one is, you guessed it, also It's Always Sunny.
Oh.
First one, season 9, episode 2, Gun Fever 2, Still Hot, and it is the gun store owner in the beginning. Gunther is the same guy who plays Sleepy, who gets shot up in the computer room.
Oh.
And the second one is It's Always Sunny, season 4, episode 4, Max banging the waitress, in which there is a whole scene between Dennis and Charlie where Charlie is told that Mac has kicked some dude's ass who's hitting on the waitress named Don Johnson. And then when Dennis hears this, he goes, that's the guy from Miami Vice. And Charlie says, there's a lot of guys out there named Don Johnson running around. He goes, I don't think so.
Wow, they were both Always Sunny. Good call.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Do you have a double feature?
I do.
All right, what's yours?
Naked Gun 33 1/3.
Oh.
I really felt like when I was watching this, I was like, oh, they got a lot of the stuff like vibes and soundtrack and like that sex scene is very, very similar to one of the sex scenes in that
Okay.
where they're like, do you practice safe sex? And then they're in giant condoms. But it's similar music throughout. I just noticed a lot of similarities, like, because I'm more familiar with the Naked Gun movies than I am like this.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh yeah, duh, they're making fun of movies like this. Probably.
So
this
do you
one
think if you
specifically.
liked this movie, you would have picked the Naked Gun, the first one? Do you think you picked the third one because they're both bad?
I just put that, and I just remembered that there was a 33 1/3. I don't remember which one is which.
That one
totally
is the one
honest.
with Anna Nicole Smith, and it's not. It's the
not
one that's
good.
not good. So it fits with how you feel about
Yeah,
it.
it's not my favorite of the Naked Guns for sure.
What's yours?
My double feature is a movie that didn't get made, but the original script for Lethal Weapon 3 was also fighting white supremacists,
Oh, yeah.
and I would like to see that movie. And why not watch both of these on the same day if I can?
Yeah.
Anytime you go watch white supremacists get fucking killed is fine with me.
And in that vein, my second runner-up would probably be Black Klansman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah. All right. Do you have a sequel idea for Dead Bang or prequel?
No.
No,
Do you have one?
I don't think there's a. Right, as much
Well,
as I
what are
like
we
this
gonna do?
movie, I
Tell
need to
it-
see more.
The prequel already exists. It's called The Story of Us, starring Bruce Willis,
Mm.
about a failed marriage.
Yeah. I have one that I came up with. The kids that we see for about 10 seconds. So Don Johnson gets murdered by that group. Like they're mad about the whole shootout in the thing, so they kill him, and his kids have to infiltrate the group
Okay.
Oh.
and take it down from the inside.
So Black Klansman.
So Black Klansman. That was my idea for the sequel.
Excellent.
Oh, do you guys have any better titles for Dead Bang?
I came up with one. I'm Nazi Your Friend.
Do you have one?
No.
A better title for Dead Bang. I have Hungover Justice.
Okay.
And Even the Losers Get Lucky Sometimes.
Boom.
Fantastic.
Do you have a description that's technically right but not great for Dead Bang?
I have one.
Ooh, okay.
It's kind of heady, so I'm sorry if it's not funny, but it was funny to me when I thought of it. The creatures outside looked from pig to man and from man to pig and from pig to man again, but already it was impossible to say which one was which.
I don't understand that at all.
It's the last line of Animal Farm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining it to
You're
me.
welcome.
Do you have one?
I have two that
Okay.
I wrote down. Deadbeat dad fails to reconnect with his kids on Christmas.
That's great.
And a homicide detective breaks his readers and never gets them fixed beyond taping them. That's it.
Right,
Excellent.
to the frustration of everyone around.
Yeah, to the frustration of everyone around.
Did you pay for that tape? Maybe that guy was in charge of tape.
Oh, he could have been.
We're thinking he's calling him about the glasses, but he's really just like, "Do you sign out the tape? You can't just have whatever tape you
You can't have
need.
8 inches of tape without signing out.
So it's got to be for business, like job related.
Yeah.
You can't just be fixing your shit with our tape.
Yeah, it's just, you're blowing the budget on. All right. Do you guys have how this movie should have ended?
No,
Like
I think the ending's
different-
perfect. I mean, aside from doing that super 80s thing where they end on a still frame of Don Johnson smiling, I think the ending of it's very good.
Yeah.
I wanted the twist to be the FBI agent so bad.
Honestly, yes.
I was like, I think that's why I didn't like this movie, is I was upset that wasn't the twist.
But it was so telegraphed that if it was,
Right.
you would probably still hate it.
I
Yeah.
still just really wanted him to be the bad. I don't know why.
I mean, I thought the whole time it was one or the other. He was either going to be
Like he's in on it. The
A
classic.
turncoat.
They pan to him and his face changes, or like there's the shootout scene and then he's like behind him
Yeah.
or whatever, and they've got him surrounded. That's what I was expecting, but it didn't happen.
It would have been fun to have the shootout between the two of them. That would have been pretty fun. But here we are.
If
right.
John
You
Woo
watch your
directed it-
language.
Yeah.
You fucking shot me. Hey, you're the one that don't like bad language.
You watch your language.
I think I'm fucking dying here, Don Johnson. Then they just talk about how much fun it is to curse. See, you're finally free.
See? I've been holding on to that for a long time. What Tom Petty song would you pick for this movie?
I think we know your answer. You already said it.
I got a couple.
Go for it.
Other ones. I mean, I won't back down.
Oh, sure.
That would work. Running Down a Dream.
Mm-hmm.
That one. And Don't Do Me Like That.
Nice. All right, what do you got?
I'm going to go with American Girl. Tell me why I'm right.
I'm not going to tell you why you're right. It's... I can't. I'm going with Something Big. The song Something Big. The guy in that song lives in a hotel, and he's trying to get his shit together.
Okay.
Fits.
It fits. All right, we're going to do is it the Kevin Bacon game?
6 Degrees of Kevin
6
Bacon.
degrees. And so we're going from Don Johnson.
Right, it's Frank Berman suggested this. And so we're going to connect Don Johnson to Nicolas Cage. So start with Don Johnson, go to Nicolas Cage, and the only rule is you'll go first.
I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it? All right, so
couldn't. I
Randy will
tried.
go first. And the only rule is I can't use the first jump that Randy uses. Do you have one?
No, I didn't have time to look.
All right, so
I can do it, but it's gonna take me a minute. So you go first. I'll try and think my way through it.
I mean, William Forsythe, guys.
No, I know.
Yeah, I know. William Forsythe was in 2 Nicolas Cage movies, so I'm going to take Raising Arizona,
Oh, yeah.
and then I get there in one move.
All right, I'm going to tie with the one that you already told me and say The Rock.
All right. There we go. Both use William Forsythe. Bjorn, you're out.
I couldn't get there. Yeah, I tried, and I was using IMDb and everything.
Oh man,
I
well, it's a
can't-
fun game because it's not.
I was
It
stuck
can't.
on.
You cannot. Like it's possible to not do it. So that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. All right, I think that's all the questions except for did we watch this movie so you don't have to?
No, I'd say watch this movie.
I'd say watch this movie.
Nah, I say don't watch this movie. You can just skip one.
Right. So the
whoever-
listeners pick. Listeners pick which one of us they like the best, and then
Yeah, who do you trust?
who do you trust? Most of you know where I come from, and I have basically the Geoff genre. Then this falls right in it.
It
Yeah,
does.
it sure does.
If you like that kind of stuff that I've already mentioned, you'll probably like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a cop movie,
Yeah.
but it's good, right? So
Yeah, I like
it's
it.
2-1 watch, and it's your call. Let us know.
This is the first time, or not the first time. It's been a while since the three of us haven't aligned
Yeah.
on a movie.
I don't know why. I can't fully describe why I didn't like this movie.
Sometimes you just don't
I was
like
just
it.
like, nope.
Yeah.
All right, and let's go. Let's find out what the Raz thought about this movie. See who he agrees with. Maybe he lands with Bjorn and it's a tie, or he lands on us and
Bjorn's
3-1.
blown out of the fucking water.
Blown out of the water. Gentleman's sweep.
You know I love being blown. It's fine.
All right, we're here with the Raz. We shook things up, and all three of us get to talk to the Raz now. We're talking about Dead Bang. What'd you think of Dead Bang?
Dead Bang, it was pretty good. I've never heard of it, and it was a movie. I enjoyed it, and it was an older movie that I've never heard of.
Yeah, it's that's the mission statement of this pod. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Dakota Johnson's dad and some other people.
a nepo father.
That's my new thing now. Is I only call the parents their kids' parents. Like, I don't know if you knew this, but the girl from Smile, her dad was in a cool movie with like sandworms and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Sophia Bacon or whatever. I can't even remember her first name, but her last name's Bacon, and I guess she's got a dad that acts. Everybody's got a dad that acts. But yeah, Dead Bang was good. They even said Dead Bang in the movie.
They
I
sure did.
like a good movie where they say the quote.
Yeah, it's I like that movie. It's one of the earliest mainstream movies where white supremacists were the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I also love a Shaggy Don Johnson. Tim Reed was a surprise, right? Like he's the Chekhov's credits where you see a name in the
Yeah.
credits and then it takes so long for them to pop up that you forget they're in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
What was your favorite part of Dead Bang? Who's your favorite bad guy in Dead Bang?
It's hard for me. And I'm going to be honest, and this is because you guys like it's bad, but that cross with those S's on it, it looked cool. That was a cool cross.
Right? I don't.
That was, like I don't support. Like
That
I
hat
don't go to
isn't
churches.
supporting it.
I'm not supporting it.
That
I'm not
outfit.
supporting it. I'm not supporting it, and I don't go to churches. But if I was driving and I was trying to find a church to go to, that one was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder what they preach.
And then you get inside and be like, oh no.
You're like, oh boy.
Oh, pass.
Right there is.
Well, no, I get in. I walk in, and they'd be like, "Oh, our safe
Brother.
Welcome. Oh, you already have your glasses. The the church elders putting them back in the bag. I didn't know you had yours already.
That's so funny. Oh, you've been which denomination?
The bad guys do have some good graphic design. Like
Yeah.
the Confederate flag is a dope colorway. It's a terrible flag. It stands for awful shit,
But its design is dope.
It
but
really
it looks
is.
pretty cool.
Dude, same with like Star Wars. Like any from the dawn of time the bad guys always have cool. Like that's why it's almost like it's like somebody had a joke where like the Nazis were closet gays because they had the best fashion, right? Like there's something along the like the bad guys in movies and in real life just always have the cooler like shit, and it's kind of mind blowing.
Well, I mean,
Well,
the fucking
there's-
Nazi
like-
uniform was designed by Boss, right?
Well, even one
Somebody
step
like that, like
one step further from that, there's no. This just dawned on me in what you said. There's no. It reminded me of the Seinfeld joke where he goes, "I'm neat and I'm thin." There's
Right.
no like sloppy fat Nazis in movies,
No.
right,
right?
No.
There's a reason why Porkins was a rebel and
right,
wasn't flying a TIE fighter. He was flying
Right.
an X-wing because he's a sloppy fat guy.
yeah.
You can't be in the Empire, right?
Mhm.
Do you guys remember any sloppy fat Nazis in the Indiana Jones or? There's no sloppy fat
No.
Empire
Right.
like Nazi stand-ins.
I mean,
movies like that.
Darth Vader did turn out to be a chubby old white guy inside
He
the
did.
costume, but he's also not on
Right.
foot.
Yeah, but they fixed that.
Yeah, where's Jabba and all this?
Yeah, right.
Jabba's not a Nazi. Jabba's
But
a criminal.
He's a criminal.
Right. I guess
There's sloppy fat criminals.
Sloppy
Yeah,
fat
lots
criminal.
of sloppy fat criminals.
That happens all the time.
I would say most of the most popular criminals are sloppy and fat.
Right,
Well,
like
that's just
like I
Italian.
can't even think of a bearded Nazi in a movie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I
It
was
is
like thinking about
interesting
Captain
though, like
America. No.
how it is wild how like I mean maybe that's part of the thing is they because they got the budgets or whatever, they got the funding, where it's like the good guys aren't too busy actually being good and trying to fight for what's right than making sure they look cool. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
They have different priorities.
I guess. I mean, looking cool is half the battle, though.
I mean-
the rebellion wouldn't have had such a hard time recruiting if they looked cool.
It would have helped, right? At least a uniform to be like, oh, maybe I'll get it. That you get that they issue you the jacket and pants and stuff.
Yeah.
If you join the rebel, you gotta wear your own clothes.
I will say though, I do like Underground. Back to the question of what's my favorite part of the movie. I mean, it was I'll be honest, I forgot which movie it was until we really started talking about it more. But I do like a good underground tunnel.
Yeah.
I do like tunnels and secret passages. So that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dead Bang and The Thing are like your two big
Amen.
go-tos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Descent.
Alien
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, Alien 3.
There's tunnels in that. What
Where is there a tunnel in the thing?
The end. When he's chasing like the whole cavern that he
They're
has to go-
underground in the base.
Yeah.
Before McCready, before they're hanging out. Before there's, I'm trying to remember. It's
Yeah, he
I don't-
he chases oh god, I can't remember the character's name. The old guy. Chases the old guy
Yeah.
down into the tunnel and then tries to blow him up, and that's when he turns into the giant monster.
okay.
that is
that's
kind
right.
of tunnelish and whatever. I don't think I realized. I never thought about it being underground, but yeah, now I remember what you're talking
Right.
about.
That was right.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do like a good tunnel movie.
Yeah.
and I would like to specify that when I say there's no sloppy fat Nazis, I mean specifically in movies. It
Right,
has
right,
become
right.
pretty clear in real life
Oh, there are
that
lots of
they
sloppy fat
are
Nazis.
mostly sloppy fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's projection, right?
There's not a lot of hot Nazis.
Yeah.
That's what we need more of.
It's like that failed Republican
We
dating
need
app.
Yeah.
less of the put together ones in movies. We need to show them what they look like.
Yeah.
Real fucking
Right.
gross motherfuckers.
Yeah. Stop making them look so cool.
Yeah.
Stop designing their suits.
I'm an easy sway. I'm a 43-year-old white guy. I'm an easy sway. You look cool, and you got like that's why I like rap, because all the rappers look cool.
They do look cool.
Hey man, I'm a big fan of the cool black dude. Like the basketball players, I don't like sports, but man, they're walk-ons. They got their cool
Oh yeah, you like the pregame
pregame
the
fit,
show-up
man.
stuff.
That drip as they call it. The kids call it.
I think it's funny how in the last few years that like that's really become a thing, and now they all walk in individually. They used to just get off
I
the
know,
bus and
like,
walk in as a group.
Right.
Not anymore.
I know.
It's a
now they're
catwalk.
like now they get off the bus and they're like, okay, give me 5 minutes. Wait 20 seconds. Let me go first.
Freshen up a little
Yeah, right.
bit.
It's like they're announced. Tyrese Halliburton is wearing From the Gap. So would you
Hilarious.
if somebody asked you, "Hey, should I watch Dead Bang?" What would you say? Like, I don't think that this is a movie that you would ever be like, "Have you seen Dead Bang?" But if somebody asked you
No, I mean,
specifically,
look, if they asked me specifically if they should watch it, I'd say, yeah, watch it. It's a fun movie.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Dead Bang with the Raz. What you got anything to plug, man?
Just be good to yourselves and each other's, and don't be a Nazi.
Yeah, all right.
That's a fucking good one. Don't be a Nazi.
All right, listen, we're trying not to be political.
Fair enough.
Just
Okay,
that's
let me balance it out. Fair enough. Let me balance it out. Guns are cool. I went to Texas and shot machine guns, so shoot guns and don't be a Nazi.
Yeah, you could be
You can
a
like
gun
guns
guy.
and not be a Nazi.
It's possible.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
Is that
Dead Bang.
is that a 50-50?
It's close enough. You threw him a bone. All right, so we'll be. That's it for Dead Bang and the Raz. So it's July already, so make sure you check out our Patreon page and sign up for whichever of those you want. We got fun stuff, bonus eps, bonus content, cool shit.
Probably content from this episode.
Yeah, probably content from this.
There's
Stuff that
definitely
got cut.
a big conversation that I cut out that will very likely be on Patreon.
Well, hell yeah. Anybody got anything to plug?
Just my other podcast, Love Hate Laugh Show.
Love Hate Laugh Show. Randy's got his list.
I do. What's More Metal, Ghosts and Hoes. If you're a parent, anytime now and unlock this. And please check out Not That Late Show every last Friday at either Tomorrow Theater or Framework in Portland.
Hell yeah. August 1st, Leisure Club, Columbus, Ohio. August 2nd, the Outdoor Festival in Norwood, Ohio, the Cincinnati area. Those are my dates. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with continuing our movies that star TV stars. Next week is Striking Distance. Meeting adjourned.